Hello, everyone. Hola, mundo. Welcome, world, and welcome to Voces Poderosas 2024. I'm Jackie Bouvier, shining the light on our nation's most powerful voices of influence. I feel honored. I truly do. I feel honored to say that I have created a movement. The way that this has just come together by interviewing powerful Latinos, and this just inspires so many people and empowers their Latinidad, my Latinidad, through powerful voices, voces poderosas. It is a transformative shortcast that features trailblazers, spearheads, catalysts, and pioneers. So, all of these professionals have insightful wisdom and so much to inform us on, empower, and help us, catapult us to the next level of success and empowerment in our lives. But today, today, I have the fantastic Juana Bordas, president and owner of Mestiza Leadership International, diversity leader, speaker, author, and influential figure in the realm of leadership development. Mi tía Juana.
Sí, yo soy tía Juana.
Tía Juana, she likes to be called. She is a trailblazer in Latino leadership, a passionate advocate for diversity and inclusion. And she brings such a dynamic blend of wisdom, experiences, and just foster an inclusive leadership. I feel truly honored. She is one of our amazing leaders in Colorado. Thank you so much for coming to Voces Poderosas Shortcast. I'm pleased and honored to have you.
Bueno,
Your powerful
felicidades on
influence.
this incredible work you're doing. Let's hear it. Fabulous.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank
Well,
you,
it's
thank
it's
you.
it's such a good time to be doing this because yo siempre digo, it's Latino time in America today.
Yes,
It's
it
time for us
is.
to polish ourselves up, stand forward, and begin to lead in this century. And I think that it's just Latino time. It's time for us to shine.
It is. I love it. Latino time. Tell me, tell me more about that. Who are you? What
Well,
is your story?
I feel so blessed that I've been able to become an elder. I'm an elder now. For those of you young people, everybody does become an elder if we're lucky. And to be able to have seen the community grow like it has, I was the first to go to college in my family. I come from a large immigrant family. There were 8 children, and I immigrated here when I was a little girl to Tampa, Florida, in a banana boat. My family, yeah, it was a banana and coconut boat that left Nicaragua. Y abajo, down in the bottom, they had this room. It was kind of dark with bunk beds. And that's how my family came to the United States. And I remember my brother Cristobal saying to me, "This is my first memory. ¿Quieres un plátano?" Do you want a banana? And so we landed in Tampa, Florida. And because I was the youngest daughter, and Latinos, the family, traditionally, we help each other so much. And because I was the youngest daughter, my older brothers and sisters groomed me and took care of me. My sisters sewed my clothes and helped me get into a good school in high school. So I was able to go to the University of Florida. But what I want to tell young people, because one of the things I offer as an elder is perspective, is that when I entered the University of Florida, I was the only Latina. I never met another Latina. And in my junior year, I marched to integrate the University of Florida because there were also no African Americans there. And yet today, the University of Florida is a Hispanic serving organization. And I was privileged to meet the first Latina that became president of the student body. I mean, so when I say it's our time, it's because if you look at where we've been and where we're going and the potential of our young people today, and we're the most youthful population in America. So we've just begun to make our impact. And so I grew up in this large immigrant family. But what happened because of the times was there was no such thing as Latinos until 1980. Now you can imagine, here I am. That's when we first got on the census. So here I am growing up. I call it a cultural no man's land where there's no identity for us as a people, where, we're not united in that sense of who are we. And so here's the miracle that happened is that I got to see John F. Kennedy speak when I was in college.
Oh,
And he was he said, let the word go forth from this time and place. The torch is being passed to a new generation of leaders. And so I joined the Peace Corps and went to Chile, relearned my language, but hold on to your hats. I had never seen a Latino bus driver, teacher, owning a business, working at a bank. I mean, nada. And I go to Chile and to South America, and I see our culture when we haven't been colonized by the Anglo-Saxon world. I always tell my friends that are South Americans that they have to feel sorry for the US Latinos because we were colonized twice, once by the Spanish and then again by the Anglo-Saxons. And a whole generation lost our identity and our language. But now we're coming back stronger than ever. And so I was able to come back at 23 years old and understand the
wow.
beauty, the power, the contributions. I mean, our culture is so rich and it's so dynamic and it puts people first and we're generous and hardworking. I was able to see what our culture was like. And so my life has really been dedicated to uplifting our people and understanding that we're here to transform America.
Wow, your why is so deep rooted and so powerful. How many people get that opportunity to get to see it from such different perspectives, you know? Oh, and then just to come back and be who you are. It's
Well, I do want to say
amazing.
this, as someone who teaches leadership, that one of the most important things people can do is ask themselves, how can I serve? What can I
Mm,
do? Because it's not about you. The dominant culture is an I culture. We are a we culture. We're a culture that thinks about family and community and how do we uplift others as we grow. And so that whole idea that when I was very young, I put my life at service and was able to figure out why I was born to this immigrant family and why I was having these experiences and why I became educated. And I encourage young people to really reflect on that because you are unique. Each one of us has a unique life path and a unique contribution to give, and no one else can do it but you.
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, no one else
I'm
can
listening.
contribute
I'm like,
like you can
that's true.
contribute.
Yo soy salvadoreña, so Nicaragua's right there,
Yeah,
Central
yeah.
America. And your
Well, that's one of the
experiences.
beauties of our culture is that today we live in the multicultural global world, and Latinos are multicultural and we're global. And that's why I say that we're poised to be the leaders of this century.
Amen. I appreciate that. I believe it, and this is why it's so powerful to hear your voice and to understand how this aligns with your why and what is your story, right? And how does this, how does this align with Hispanic or Latin Heritage Month, however we want to call it? But how does this align with your culture? And you've just explained it to us, and you have given us a little bit of that. So tell me, from a professional perspective, what insights can you share to encourage and empower Latino communities, the diversity that's out there? What did you have to do in order for you to say, as a professional and aligning with my culture, this is what I did?
Well, one of the things I teach today is called the Latino advantage.
Ooh.
And it has to do, for example, Latinos have the highest work ethic in the country. And we accounted for 78% of the new entries into the labor market. Latinos love to work. And we love to work because that's how we contribute. And, the majority of Latinos are still working class. So we bring not only a work ethic to our country, but we bring
Mm.
ganas. We bring passion. And so when we do things, hágalo con ganas, hágalo con gusto. So Latinos bring that sense of energy. And I think part of that is because we are a mixed people. Nature loves a hybrid. When you combine things together, the best of each one comes forward. So like I have French blood and Indian blood and Spanish blood, and I'm Nicaraguan and I'm American and I'm a woman. And it keeps going, because young people look at intersectionality and everything that we can be. And Latinos are like that. We have that bienvenido spirit, which is another thing, our inclusiveness. right? So you look at our dinner table and everybody's there. I have Afro Latinos in my family. My nephew just married a Filipino. My other niece is married to somebody
I love it.
from Spain, but we have Germans, right? And we have Irish. And so we're such a great mixture. We have African in our family. My grandson's Afro Latino, and of course the Caribbean coast, Colombia, Brazil, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. We have that Afro influence, and a quarter of our people say that they have African descent. So one of the things that makes us so unique is this bienvenido spirit, where we welcome people, and you can see it at our dinner table, you can see it at our events, that we have all the color spectrums, 26 countries, old and young. We're also intergenerational, and I love that. I don't want to be,
Yes.
in the white culture, sometimes you're put out to pasture, but instead people call me Tijuana. and,
And we
and
love
they,
you.
and they include me, right? So, I mean, our culture is intergenerational. We're also the most generous culture. It's not how much you have, it's how much you share. Mi casa, su casa. We're not a materialistic culture. We're a humanistic culture where people come first. We center ourselves on our people, right? Our family, our children, our community, where we live, our church, whatever it is that we belong to. And that's why the Latino advantage is so strong, because when we go to organizations, we bring not only that, but we bring this si se puede spirit, this innovative spirit, because we have had to, as marginalized people that were only declared a minority in 1980, we have had to be resourceful, to do more with less, to be innovative. And you can see that because 80% of small businesses in the last decade were started by Latinos. And you can bring that sense of innovation, of entrepreneurship to your school, to your community, to your nonprofit, to your business, to your bank. It doesn't matter where you work. We have that sense of not only innovation, but do more with less, because Latinos are very resourceful, because we've had to really advance. Nobody has given Latinos anything, really. I mean, we've worked for what we have, and we can bring that sense of resourcefulness, innovation, entrepreneurship, generosity, hard work, ganas, passion, and the last one, gozar la vida, a love of life,
Oh,
of celebration, of music. Latinos, like
pura.
Pitbull says, don't stop the party. And a passionate culture, but we're also just loving. We're people who love people, because that's where our heart is. Our heart is with our people.
Yes, yes. I'd love for you to provide some words of wisdom, advice for the next generation, that generation that's coming up. What would you say to them?
Well, first of all, I want you guys to buckle up, because in 7 years, the majority of the electorate will be millennials or younger. And just like when I was young and I saw John F. Kennedy and there was a new generation coming, and our generation brought civil rights and women's rights, and we did a lot of good things. But what we didn't do is to really look at the economics and what's the economic base that continues discrimination and people not being inclusive and sharing the power structure. And so young people have a lot of work to do as well. And it's time for them to step up. Most of my work is with young people. I love to help them, to mentor them, to put programs together for them, to inspire them. I'm on TikTok. Just look up Tijuana. And
That's awesome.
because I want to relate to them. But more than that, I understand that it's time for a generational shift. Like, I have a grandson that just became a lawyer, and he and I talk a lot about this. And so he and I coined this: end the gerontology.
I love it.
End old. Now, don't throw me out. I'm here
No.
to be with you. And I just went canvassing for a political candidate, and there were 4 elders there with about 15 younger people. And I think they like having us there, because it shows them that you got to keep on keeping on, and that we're there to support them. If I was depressed, my mother would say, get busy and do something for somebody else.
Oh, that's powerful. Juana, oh my goodness, what a blessing. I could stay talking to you all day long. I can listen to your stories and insights every day. Wow, what a blessing to have you here. Thanks for sharing today with What a tremendous story. You have inspired me, and I know so many out there are being inspired by you. And just remember, everyone, you were meant to be the person that you were called to be, and that is to serve. Your voice is powerful, and you are willing to share the story, Juana. And I want to say thank you, Tia. Thank you so much for your kind words. Thank you for making a difference.
Te
Bendiciones.
quiero.